Well guys, welcome back to the channel. Bit of drone news today. I'm just in the car, just thought I'd just do a quick one and try and get this one out. Yeah, so DJI FPV drone, there's a new FCC hack, which, you know, technically not supposed to do in the UK, and it enables you to increase the power output of the drone and the goggles and everything else, the controlling. FPV pilots kind of do this because it kind of increases the range, like on the goggles and the you know, if you're flying regular FPV and you're using the DJI goggles, you know, most FPV pilots will kind of try and increase the power output of the goggles and the control link to try and, you know, not lose connection with their drone, like, because you're flying behind obstacles and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, it would make sense that people would want to do it to the FPV drone as well, like that's DJI's FPV drone. And what I want to just kind of talk about is something that I think people need to be aware of when they do this. Firstly, obviously you're not supposed to do it because you're in a region where there's power limits, so that aside, you're not supposed to do it. The other thing is that there is a lot of stuff going on at the moment in terms of drone tracking and drone awareness and kind of drone detection systems. So in theory, if you increase the power output of your drone, particularly a DJI one, it means you've basically got more chance of being noticed if you're doing something you shouldn't be. So yeah, places you shouldn't be flying. Obviously I've had all of this issue lately where I got my drones confiscated because my house was quite near to the airport and I was flying in my back garden, you know, stupid stuff on my part, but I've learnt my lesson and yeah, won't be doing that again. Plus the fact I'm not in that location anymore anyway, so that helps a lot. But it's made me super aware of like where you shouldn't be flying and how serious to take this, because you know it is now becoming something pretty important. Whereas, you know, back 20 years ago I used to fly radio controlled model aircraft, just flying where you want, no problem, and it kind of just went under the radar, I suppose, like, or maybe it's mainly because there wasn't as much of that going on, so it probably didn't become an issue. You couldn't just go down to Argos and buy a drone and just, you know, start flying it, or, you know, that sort of stuff. So what I'm trying to get at here, guys, is if you increase the power output of your drone, it means that obviously the signal is going to travel further, you're going to get more range, you're going to penetrate objects better with your radio control signal and your video link. Great if you're doing kind of underground car parks and warehouses and all this sort of stuff, but be aware that that signal is actually going to be traveling further. There's things like the DJI Aeroscope system which can pick up drones in 100-kilometer range. So what you've got to remember is a drone is basically just like a flying transmitter, so the higher it goes, the further the signal is going to travel. Just think what you can see up, you know, 100 foot in the air. You know, you can see a hell of a lot. Everything that you can see, that signal is going to be penetrating. So the signal is going to travel a long way, even on low power levels. And if you go and stick a power mod on it, it's going to go even further still. So you're probably talking 100 kilometers is probably easily achievable with a drone that's sitting up, you know, 100 feet or whatever it is. And because of the popularity of DJI drones and how easy they are to actually get and acquire, as I say, you can go to Argos, go and pick one up. This is where a lot of these drone detection systems are focusing their energy, I think. And I'm pretty sure, but I want to do a little bit more research about this, but I think the DJI Aeroscope system can actually pull serial numbers from the drone itself. So basically, a drone is flying around in the air, it's transmitting its control link and everything else, and I'm pretty sure it actually transmits out its serial number, obviously in some kind of encrypted format or whatever, but yeah, major privacy around that whole thing, and I want to find more out about this, particularly, you know, this DJI Aeroscope system and yeah, some of the other things. You know, this is a great thing in some ways, don't get me wrong, it's a great system. You know, it kind of is going to act like a great big radar that picks up the DJI stuff and maybe other stuff. Probably free, you know, there's probably other protocols it can pick up, FreeSky and whatever else there are in those 2 and 5 gigahertz bands. So yeah, just a bit of information for you. It's been kind of running through my head quite a lot lately as I've been getting back into FPV. I'm actually doing my A2C, A2 of C, whatever it's called, certification. So it allows me to fly more places legit. So yeah, I don't know, I'll let you know how that goes. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be throwing the towel in with this sort of FPV and drone hobby, you know, going forward, because obviously regulations, all this sort of thing. I can't be bothered with that. I was flying fine for 20 years, blah, and all this sort of thing, and I was a little bit of that mindset, but you know, things change. I think with manufacturers, the manufacturers are starting to sort of kind of focus more on this sort of 250 gram class, and we're seeing, like, you know, like the new tiny Baby Hawk, Emax Baby Hawk HD2, which I'm going to be doing a review on coming soon. Yeah, that sort of class, which is smaller, lighter, does more. It's forcing, you know, it's forcing development at a rapid rate, so it's going to be really interesting to see, you know, some of these really small drones that fly like big drones. Who was it who said this the other day? One of the FPV channels said, what we want is extreme toys. We don't want, like, you know, serious aircraft. We want extreme toys. That's kind of really what I do on my channel. You know, what we do, me, Steve and Neil, it's basically just like extreme toys. Anyway guys, hope this has been useful. I wanted to do this as a sit down video at my new studio. More info coming soon. But I've ended up doing it in the car because I just wanted to get it out. So hope you don't mind. Anyway, catch you in the next one, guys.